What's up, guys? Jordan here with the deck box, coming back to you tonight with a bonus video, actually. Like I said, normally we do Thursday through Sunday, but I decided today would be a good day to put out a bonus video for you guys and really just put out some solid information. I think this is the first place deck that Connor Lavelle used this past Saturday to get another first place win. No surprise, Connor is a solid player from the St. Louis region, and he said that I could profile this list for you guys, so that is what I'm doing. And it's the new DeciZoro list. I say new because it's kind of been cropping up recently, but I think it's starting to get like its solid 60 cards. And I've been looking at some of the results from this past weekend. There were a lot of League Cups, and I'm seeing a lot of DeciZoro. And it's not just hitting top 8, but it's like top 4 or better. So it's a pretty solid list from what I've been seeing. Like I said, Connor won yesterday with this, so congrats to him. I was also at that tournament. I'll be doing my profile on Thursday and my league update. And be sure to check out Erica's that she did yesterday. But today we're going to talk about Connor's. And let me pull up what he said about his list before we jump into it. So took first place at Lavelle, Missouri League Cup yesterday with this. The list is very close to the one posted by Daniel Altavilla in his most recent video with PPG, only dropping a Lele for a Mallow. He says that he really likes the one of the Mallow, and he dropped the Zoroark he dropped the Mewtwo from Evolutions for his Zoroark Breakthrough, or Breakpoint, sorry. No, it's Breakthrough. Whatever. The baby Zoroark. That's what we're calling it. Breakthrough, sorry. And the reason he did that is because he expected Volcanion, so obviously hitting the perfect numbers. And then his matchups, round 1 was against the Gliscod Zoroark. He won 2 games in a row to take that one. Second round was Metagross Solgaleo with Magearna. 2 wins on that one, 2-0. And I actually played against that list on my first round. It was not easy to play against because once they got Solgaleo and Metagross set up, there was like no stopping it. So you had to like speed through if you could, but yeah. But anyway, I'll talk about that later. Round 3 for Connor, Gliscod Zoroark. He lost 2 games and won the middle game, so he did lose that round. Round 4 was Vikavolt Bulu, 2 wins again. So at that point, he is 3-1. And then round 5, he was able to ID against a Gardevoir player, going 3-1-1, getting him into top cut. There was one 3-1-1 that bubbled, got 9th place. Then let's see, so top 8 he played against Ninetales Zoroark, double win there. Top 4, I believe it's the same Metagross Solgaleo list that he played in the second round, and he got 2 wins again, so he took that round. Finals was Lurantis GX, Tapu Bulu GX, Zoroark GX combo. That may have actually been Alex Kreckler. I think, yeah, maybe Alex Kreckler did make top 8. But that may have been him because I know he has been playing that list recently. I have the top 8 here. Yeah, it would have been. Oh, okay. I did not know he made it that far. So he got 2 wins and a loss on that one, and he took the whole thing. So that was his run. He said the deck is incredibly strong with multiple win conditions and DeciZoro's inherent versatility. While it can be tricky to play, I'd say it's one of the strongest decks headed into Memphis. If you have the time to grind games with it beforehand, I'll try to answer any questions, yada yada. And that's on Hey Fonte. If you guys want to hop on there, find the post, and if you have any questions for him, feel free to ask. Super nice guy. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer questions for you. But yeah, one thing he said there that I pretty much say with certainty is the DeciZoro decks in general, they're not autopilot decks. Like, you have to put some thought into them. They do a lot of things on their own that make them inherently strong, but there's just certain players that are DeciZoro minded. And if you've ever played DeciZoro, you know what I'm talking about. You know where exactly to put the feather arrows and when to, attack with your backup attacker, use Coco to spread or devolve. There's just these little things that you have to know. And it's not just about knowing the devolve matchups, because obviously you go against decks where you don't devolve to win, and you just have to play those properly. I actually talked to Connor at the tournament. He said that he was only able to get in, or I'm not sure if he said only, but he got in 50 games this week with this list, and that's some substantial testing. I know it's not near as much as what some people do, but for a cup that's, quite a bit just in a week. So he got his practice in with this for sure and knew what he was doing. So real quick, I'm going to run through the list, and then we're going to grab a couple games with this. All right, so we started off with the 3 Zorua, and he used the 1 with Ram. Obviously, he can attack with that one. Then he did 1 Zoroark from Breakthrough. It has that stand-in ability, of course, and Mind Jack was the main reason he played it because, like I said, he expected Volcanion. So he can hit solid numbers. They're going to fill their bench. He's hitting 160, 190 with a Choice Band. 2 Zoroark GXs. This new card has a trade ability. Amazing ability. Playing against this card is never fun because you know that if they don't have the card they need immediately, they have 2, 4, 6 more outs, whatever the case may be, to try to get that card. Just an insane ability. And it has a solid attack. Right is beating 20 times. Attack does 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in play. So swinging for 120, 150 with a Choice Band. You pair the 150 with a few Feather Arrows. You're taking down other Zoroarks. You're taking down Lycanroc GXs. You're taking down Golisopod, Ninetales. All these different stage 1s, and potentially even a Gardevoir if you get 4 Decidueye. That's the dream. Doesn't happen often, but that is the dream, of course. So very versatile and pairs well with Decidueye. Then we have a 4-3-4 line of Decidueye GX, which most of us know at this point has that Feather Arrow ability, Razor Leaf attack for 1 grass, 2 colorless, does 90. That most likely won't be the attack that you go for. It just depends on the matchup. Obviously, if you're going up against Lycanroc or some Water Deck, you're going to use Decidueye to attack. You can one-shot all those. But most times you're not going to attack with it. You're going to use Zoroark and just have Decidueye doing the Feather Arrows as the backup. And then the only GX attack that we can use in this list would be Hollow Hunt, where you put 3 cards from your discard pile into your hand. And obviously, again, with Decidueye, you have to know when to do these things at the right time. Hollow Hunt, you have to know when to do it. You don't want to get those cards end away necessarily. You still want them back, even in your deck. That's better than having them in your discard. But preferably, you're trying to grab them to use them the next turn. Timing is everything with this. 1 Tapu Koko here. Flying Flip obviously does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. I know a lot of people are using Latios before, the new one from Shining Legends. I think that has kind of died off now with, I don't want to say died off, it's just dwindled a little bit, with Garbodor kind of going down, which is actually what Connor played at the ARG event recently. And Saturday, I did not see any Garb in Masters, to my knowledge. I played against a lot of people. I saw a lot of the decks. I did not see Garbodor, which is weird to see. I think I saw 1 Garb there, and it was one of our seniors that was playing it. And it was Golisopod Garb. It wasn't even like straight Garb or Drampa Garb, whatever. So that's kind of a weird thing to see at a tournament, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, okay, when are people going to go crazy with items and someone's just going to pop up and say, hey, remember Garb? And just take over. But anyway, I digress. So not as much Latios, more Tapu Koko, which definitely helps with those flying flips, because typically you're not going to get out 4 Decidueye. You might get out 2 or 3. If you get out 3 and you've already got 1 flying flip on the board, you get out 3 Decidueyes and you have your Zoroark able to attack with a Choice Band, you can one-shot those Guardies, essentially. Then we have Espeon EX. This makes taking down decks like Guardy, Metagross, all these big evolution decks so much easier, because you're able to spread with Koko, spread with Decidueye, and then bring Espeon out and just devolve everything and take multiple prizes is what you're going for. Then he played 2 Tapu Lele GXs, obviously for the Wonder Tag ability and a decent attack with Energy Drive. And then something that that he did differently, and that I've seen in a lot of these new Decidueye Zoroark lists, is playing 3 Evo Soda and 3 Rare Candy. As opposed to just playing Rare Candy, they're playing both. Obviously, you have 2 Pokemon in this list that need to evolve. It's an absolute necessity. So turn 2, you want your Zoroarks up and running, at least 1, if not 2 or 3, or if not both. So Evo Soda is there for that. If you get 1 up and you keep trading, you can potentially get other Evo Sodas or get other rare candies to set up your Decidueye. So each kind of plays a different role. Plus, a lot of players will know you want to stagger your evolutions. So you have a couple Rowlets out. Turn 2, you're going to rare candy one of them, and you're going to evolve one of them into Dartrix if you can't rare candy both of them. So then, turn 3, you have an Evo Soda, you can get your Dartrix. So it gives you 2 ways to get quick, get your Decidueye. So it gives you 2 ways to get quick Decidueyes, and then at the same time, the Evo Soda helps with Zoroark. Next, he played 2 Field Blower. I think if Garb was still around, it'd be more up around 3, but like I said, there wasn't as much, so 2 seems sufficient. 2 Max Potion. Obviously, Decidueye has 240 HP. It can take a lot of hits, and it's not really going to be attacking. You're not going to be putting a ton of energy on him in most matches, so using Max Potion on Decidueye is not a huge deal. Next, he did play 1 Rescue Stretcher to either get back 1 Pokemon or 3 of your choosing back into your deck. This can be critical. Obviously, only running 2 of the Trade Zoroark. You do want to be able to get those back, and you have a couple 1-ofs in Koko and Espeon that you will need in certain matchups. So, Rescue Stretcher is definitely helpful. Special Charge, this is obviously just to get back some of your DCE. Obviously, this deck runs mostly on Special Energy, so that will be your focus. That, along with Hollow Hunt, will allow you to cycle through those a little bit easier. He also played 4 Ultra Ball, pretty standard, helps you with consistency, getting the Pokemon you need. Then the 2 Bridget that we're seeing in a lot of these Stage 2 decks, and Stage 1, I guess. He only played 2 Guzma, and obviously it doesn't really matter if something is in the active that you don't want to be there, because, you can just use your Feather Arrow, you can use your Koko Spread, and take damage that way. Then he did play 1 Mallow, and this is what he mentioned with Daniel Altavila's list, who played 3 Lele. He cut his 3rd and tossed in a Mallow. This allows you to set up perfectly with your Zoroark, because what you do is you use Mallow, you put the exact 2 cards that you need on the top of your deck, and you take them with Trade. What this could mean for you is maybe you don't have the DCE to attack. Maybe you don't have a full bench, and having that full bench will get you a knockout. So you use Mallow, you put a basic at the top along with a DCE, you trade, you grab them, you take that knockout for game, or you take it just for a big knockout, whatever the case may be. So it's very, very important in this list. I've started to see a lot of 1-ofs of Mallow with Zoroark, and I know a lot of people initially were talking heavy Mallow with Zoroark, but I think the 1 is perfectly fine. You're going to get what you need in those clutch situations. So solid card and solid inclusion in this list. Next, he played the standard 4N and 4 Professor Sycamore, just for as much consistency with his drawing as possible. So between those 2, the Zoroark, the Evo Soda, being able to search for your Pokemon, he is in a solid position to just be super, super consistent, and quite frankly, pretty speedy for a Stage 2 deck that's paired with a Stage 1. So pretty solid there. Next, for his tools, he played 2 Choice Band and 2 Floatstone. Those are mainly just to get the Decidueye out of the active. They're pretty beefy, and like I said, they're really not going to be attacking most games, depending on your matchup. Then lastly, for his energy, it was 4 DCE and just 2 Grass Energy, pretty low, but as I've said about 15 times, Decidueye is not going to be your focus. Decidueye is there for his ability mainly, and like I said, with Garb kind of out of the picture, Decidueye is able to use his ability more, and he's able to be in there just for that ability as opposed to the attack as well. So, without further ado, we are going to hop onto the ladder, grab a couple games with this, and see if we can have the same results as Connor. Where'd you go? There we go. Alrighty. One matchup that I really did want to see is he played against, like I said, that Solgaleo Metagross list. I just wanted to see how that matchup goes, because I even asked him, I said, oh, so we were able to devolve him and stuff? He said, nope, didn't even have to do that. He was able to get those Koko Spreads off at the right time, and Feather Arrow, along with the attack from Zoroark, and he was able to take knockouts on Solgaleos and Metagross, these 250 HP Pokemon, who themselves one-shot everything on your side. Solgaleo does 230, you put on a Choice Band 260, he's taking out your Decidueye. So I honestly, no offense to Connor, but here in that matchup, I was like, there's no way that he won. But like I said, you have to have that Decidueye mind. All right, so we have a decent opening hand actually. We have potential for turn 2 Zoroark. We're going to be able to get our bench set up. We can Lele for a Sycamore next turn. I think we're playing against a Raichu deck, which will be interesting. I know that I think Erica played against a Raichu deck in her tournament recap yesterday, and from what she told me, she did not do too well against it. But be sure to check out that video. There was some good games in there, and she profiles her list. So expecting to see some Pikachu here. Maybe Magnemite. Okay. Is it just Raikou? It's interesting. Okay, so we get a Zoroark. That's solid. We'll put down 3 more. Actually, we'll put down 1 more Zoroark, 2 more Rowlet. Or do I put out a Koko? Actually, I don't think we'll need Koko because we can hit these other than this for like the perfect numbers. So we really want our Decidueyes out. And we'll hold it there. So now what oh dang, man, that's fine. I mean, we still get fresh resources, make it into a better hand. But anyway, what I'm curious about with my opponent's deck is if it is a Raichu deck or if it's just something totally weird. All right, so we see rare candy, so we're gonna see the Magnezone. So he's probably gonna load up some energy on Raikou. He's probably going to take a knockout. But we can knock out right back because we can Ultra Ball for Zoroark. Put down Koko and Espeon as much as I hate to. Ultra Ball away the Max Potion, whatever else comes up. Well, yeah, that'll get the Zoroark. We'll DCE onto the Zoroark. Mallow for rare candy Decidueye. Big, huge combo. And that's what I mean by this list. Like you gotta think every last thing through. Okay, so is he gonna get the 3 energy necessary? 2 of those 5 cards have to be energy for him to do this. Otherwise, Rowlet survives, which would be amazing. Okay, here's 1. Does he get the second? Yep, there he goes. That's fine. We'll clear all that energy off the field here. Oh, you know what? We can't do the plan I want to do because we'd be out of cards we couldn't trade. So, maybe we trade Espeon instead of putting him down. Okay, so that's what we can do actually. We will Ultra Ball. Yeah, Ultra Ball away the max. Yeah. Alright, so it's going to look weird what we're about to do, but I think it works out fine. Actually, no, it doesn't. We won't get the knockout. Yeah, we won't. Trying to think of my best options here. I'm sure as we prized both of our grass, so we can get him. Yeah, we gotta be able to trade something. So I guess we just trade away the rare candy so that we can at least pop him for 100 or 80 rather. And then next turn we can take him out with DeciZoro's ability to start things off. I hate leaving myself with an empty hand there, but I feel like he's kind of jammed up right now. I'm trying to remember how crazy this attack gets. Okay, so 5 energy will do it, or 4 in a choice band for Zoroark. Alright, so we are going to be able to get to do what we want to do. Oh, and that top deck. Amazing. Got no complaints there. We will, and thank you. I didn't do anything special. Alright. What do I dump here? I think I dumped Guzma. Yeah, I want to keep the Dartrix and DeciZoro just in case. Alright, get another Guzma. Alright. What I was hoping for was a choice band and another Pokemon, so I can take down. Well, no, Pikachu is 130, so just a choice band will do it. No, don't get it. Oh, but I can still trade with this guy too, I think. So, I think I dumped this. There's choice band. So next turn I'll be able to take down the Lavelle with 2 abilities, which is solid. That's really how we want to take some knockouts, because I don't think that they play any max potion, or really any healing for that matter. So he's going to get 2 energies, so he could attack with Lavelle if he wants, unless he's got another energy and he wants to. We'd have to have 4 energy to retreat Lavelle and have Pikachu attack for 150, which would really suck. But we'll have Sycamore along with Special Charge to potentially get the DCE. Alright, so Coco is going to come in. And if he doesn't knock us out, we can actually take down Coco. So he's really risking it by doing that, but and he's gonna get it. I just don't see a way how he doesn't. If he doesn't, I'll be super happy. But that's fine. We got a DCE to follow up, and our DeciZoro still. All right, that's fair. The good thing is, so far, like, what I'm loving about this deck, I have not had to use a Lavelle at all to get what I need, which I know you can do that in some decks, but with Zoroark, it's just so much more consistent with not having to do that, because you just dig through your cards and you're gonna hit what you need at some point. It just makes this deck absolutely ridiculous. So, I think I get myself another bench Pokemon. Do I like that, or would I rather have a Zorua? I think I do the Ralix. I think at this point I'm pretty solid. I'm going to take down Coco. I'll be able to take down Lele easily, and then just a single prize attacker, which will probably come from Feather Arrows. We get the Zorua anyway, which is solid. We'll now swing for 150, so we can just poke Coco once, and then we'll poke the Lele. And then next turn, we can poke the Lele once, and whatever else we want to. Oh, we still got trade. We'll trade a Sycamore. Alright. And now we take a knockout. And so you can really see how these two pair well to just take these easy knockouts. Obviously, these are like 170 HP Pokemon, but I mean, it's so consistent that you're getting these knockouts. You just set them up properly. Like I said, Lele's gonna stay there, so Feather Arrow takes it down, and then I take out this Mew. Or now, unless if he gets 4 Metal Energy on this Mew and a Choice Band, Zoroark's going down, which would really suck. But from there, we really just need to hit a DCE. We can DeciZoro this Zorua into the breakthrough Zoroark and take a knockout that way. And I believe we still have 2 DCE still in there. Yeah, 2 DCE in our deck. And we should be able to dig enough to get those, because we only have 14 cards left in our deck. Gonna grab a Lele for Sycamore to dig for the Choice Band. Oh no, it's Pikachu. Did he play a supporter this turn? I don't think he has. No, he hasn't. And now he can't use a Lele to do it. If he doesn't hit the Choice Band, then we for sure have this no questions asked. Alright, nope, he just gets the 5th energy. That'll do it. Which is fine. And all those energies go bye-bye. There's special charge. We can put back 2 DCE. So now all 4 of our DCE are in there. First, we're going to take a knockout. Just make sure we don't have like a rare candy in here. Yeah, when we do. So I think we'll definitely take this. Question mark. We'll Feather Arrow the Mew. And we'll actually be able to Feather Arrow it twice. Oh, watch this. We'll trade a bit just to make sure we can get it. First, we'll take out our DeciZoro. Oh, our candy, DeciZoro. And we'll poke it again. Now all we have to do is hit DCE off of 14 cards. Now we gotta do it again. Alright. This is it. There it is. All 4 of them, just waiting for us. We'll take it. I guess we could have flying flipped for it as well, but we want Zoroark to do his thing. So there you go. I know it came close, but really we were in a solid position the whole time. Some easy knockouts. They just needed to be set up properly. So there's W number 1 with this. And I'm really liking the list a lot more. I had tried building a DeciZoro Zoroark list, and I was not enjoying it too much because I hadn't played DeciZoro in so long. And I just didn't understand the proper way to play it. And now I think that I see a consistent list. I can kind of see where they're going with it. So who knows? Maybe I will consider this in my testing a little bit more. I know it's getting a lot of hype. But honestly, between this getting a lot of hype, Galissapod Zorak getting a lot of hype, Metal getting a lot of hype, I'm kind of just like Volcanion in my head because of all those things. But we'll see what happens. Okay. So I'm wondering if they're playing Galissapod Zorak, or maybe DeciZoro. Could be either or. And it's the mirror match. And I wonder if it's the exact same list. We'll find out. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Whew. Just attaching all those tools. Alright. Get essentially, actually, pretty much the exact same start we got last game where we get the Bridget. So, we need to go for that 210 number. So that means go for our Feather Boys. Next turn, we'll obviously be able to Sycamore. We'll have 2 Zorua with DCE on them. Should get some Zorarks. Start taking some knockouts. The advantage that they're having in this is they're going turn 2, and we did not get to attack on our first turn because we didn't get things set up the way they needed to be. So that's the big advantage they're going to have, is they're essentially 1 Feather Arrow ahead of us on every single one of our Pokemon. But they didn't have an explosive turn 2. Oh man, I hate getting rid of the Choice Band. I feel like it's necessary though. Pick up a Zorak. Sycamore and just dig through stuff. Get some Evo Sodas. Get Rare Candy, which don't really need. Gonna well, you know what? Let's trade first before we do anything crazy. Goodness gracious. Alright, we'll trade. We don't need all 3 Evo Sodas. At most, we'll need 2. Oh, you know what? I guess we would have needed 3. Whoops. Because we have the 3rd one in the active. Totally missed that, and I don't know how. Click down on those. Evo Soda. The active. Well, Evo Soda the bench. Yeah, we could have Evo Soda'd all 3. That was a misplay. And sucks. We still can't attack because we're not in the active. I guess could have gone for the Breakthrough Zorak, which still wouldn't have taken a knockout. I feel more comfortable having the 2 trade Zorarks out there. And he's only got 1. We have okay, now they have their first DeciZoro. But other than that, I think our setup's a little bit more optimal at this stage of the game. Oh, but then they get the Sycamore. Oh boy. But at this point, the most they'll be able to set up is 2 DeciZoro. The biggest thing that's going to help them, though, is their Flying Flips. He's probably going to Feather Arrow or Rowlet, and then Flying Flip take it out. He's setting up his DeciZoro with energy, which I guess makes sense. He's got everything else set up that needs to have energy. I would be really surprised if he didn't hit Rowlet. Yep. So really what's going to give us big edge will be taking down DeciZoro, just so he can't get those little snipes in. Another reason to keep that other Evo Soda would have been to guarantee a DeciZoro this turn. So, yeah, little mistake there on my part. Dang, we're only swinging for 100. We're not looking good. I think we trade the DCE actually over the grass, because grass could at least retreat Dartrix if we really need it. Or there's a floatstone that can do that. Trade again, hoping for maybe an N actually would be solid. Alright, Coco, that fills the bench. Now, the problem is if he gets a choice band and feather arrows our active Zoroark, then he could be knocked out. And I don't like that. But if I don't take out Coco, he's going to keep spreading. I will also do that. We'll definitely need that special charge. Pretty quick promotion of Lavelle, so I'm wondering if maybe he's got Floatstone, Gizmo, or Energy to retreat. But I figured he would just attack with Zoroark, but I guess he wouldn't want to unless he gets the choice band. Until then, he probably just wants to set up. What we need though is we need our DeciZoro setup. That was, like I said, I was a misplay getting rid of that Evo Soda. Should have dumped a rare candy over an Evo Soda, because following turn I could have a DeciZoro, but I got greedy, big time. This next turn I think I can dump Zoroark. I really want to hold on to that max potion for now. Are we going to see some de-evolution? Really hope not. He's going to take down something, but I just don't want it to be a Zoroark, which you know that's what he'll go for, if he can make it happen. But he'd have to have Floatstone or Gizmo and an Energy to make that happen. Alright. We live another turn, and we get the Sycamore, so we're actually going to max potion the Dartrix. I feel like that's a good move. So he's further away from the de-evolution. So off of my trades and the Sycamore, I need to be able to get just one DeciZoro. And then we can take down Lavelle. 2 would be nice. There we go. And we can trade another Sycamore. Or rare candy, either one. And there's our other DeciZoro showing up to the party. There we go. We can dump those things. We don't need them. And the fact that we used... Oh boy. I really like the idea of keeping Zoroark alive and kind of negating those flying flips. Like I said, I know we'd probably use those on DeciZoro, but since we have this here, I feel like it's necessary. So he's swinging for 150, so we can poke him once. Then we need to poke him, because we poke him 3 times by the end of next turn, and he'll be KO'd. So we got to set those up. Like I said, it's all about setup. And then it'll be taking one other easy knockout, which hopefully won't be a 2-prizer, but it probably will be, because that Dartrix will likely get evolved this next turn. He can't devolve. Well, okay, he could. If he gets another DeciZoro up, he could devolve a DeciZoro for a KO, or if he doesn't, he could devolve the one Zoroark GX, which would suck. but it could be worse. And there's the Mallow, so he's going to get exactly what he needs, which is an energy, and he'll probably pick up a Decidueye as well. So if he's smart, he'll do both pokes on Decidueye and take that knockout. I don't know which would be the bigger threat, though. Decidueye helps take knockouts, though. That's what's huge about Decidueye. If he takes out Decidueye, I can't knock out his Zoroark this next turn. And I do have Gizmo, so I can make that happen. But I guess if he doesn't take out Decidueye, I could still... Or if he does take out Decidueye, I can still take a knockout on a Lele, which would be an easy knockout. And then maybe take down that Zorua if he doesn't get it set up in time. These mirror matches just... I don't want to say they make me nervous, but they make me really think through everything I do because... Yeah, okay, so he's going to knock out that Zoroark, which is actually better for us. And it's good that we didn't use rare candies on those those Decidueyes because they can't be knocked out as easily, and we'll be able to evolve them right back up this turn. But no, with the mirror matches, it makes you think a lot more because you're thinking, okay, this is what I would do. But if it's the right play, you're also thinking that's what they would do, and so it's just a bounce back and forth, and eventually someone has to take control. Alright, so, and we get our basic. So, we are going to take down Espeon for sure, and we're going to set up, or continue to set up, well, you know what, do I take down Espeon, or do I take down the Zoroark now? And just make that happen. The most he could do next turn, he could take down our Zoroark next turn if we don't get rid of this Espeon. But if we just take down the Espeon, he could take 2 prizes off Zoroark GX. And then I feel like we're in deep trouble then. So I feel like taking down Zoroark is the better play. Hopefully. We will find out. Yeah. I feel like we need to take advantage of having that choice band there. Oh, we can still trade. Forgot about that. We'll get rid of Dartrix. If we could get a DCE, that would be great. Nope. I don't think we have any in the discard. Oh, no, we have 2. Just kidding. It's worse than I thought. And we've already used our special charge. That could cause problems for us. But I'm pretty sure the 4th one is in our deck, and I guess I could have Ultra Balled to do a deck check. Because he could take down this active Zoroark, and then we could be really, really screwed. We only have 8 cards in deck, though. But what is the chance that that last prize is our DCE? If it is, then there's like really no way we can win. We'd have to get a 3rd Decidueye set up and devolve somehow, which I think... No, that's not in the discard. Okay. Well, we can do a real quick check with an Ultra Ball next turn to figure it out. He's going to take out the Floatstone and Choice Band. I really don't see him taking down Decidueye. That wouldn't, in my opinion, that would be the worst decision you can make. You're so much better to go after Zoroark in this case because you could be taking away the only way to attack. It sucks. I can't really end myself into a DCE with only 1 left. And if I get end here and they take a knockout on Zoroark, that is just brutal. But we'll see. Our biggest advantage right now is that we are three prizes ahead. We were able to speed through things a little bit faster, but that's the only thing. All right, yep, they're taking down Zoroark. Dang. Smart move, though. I really didn't expect otherwise. I don't think, though, I haven't seen any max potion. Other than that, though, the list looks the same as mine. So maybe they play him and they just haven't had a chance to put him out because everything's getting knocked out easily. Oh, you know what? We still have trade because the Zoroark goes back into our hand. Duh. So that helps us. We can get through 2 more of our cards. First, we'll Ultra Ball to check things out. Just get rid of both of those. Alright, so Espeon's in there. There's the DCE. Alright. Oh, boy. I guess Espeon doesn't really help. Actually, it's better to have Espeon. Can't take a knockout as easily. Or can't be knocked out as easily, rather. So 6 cards left. We have to hit on the trade here. Whoop. Just kicked me out. There we go. I mean, I could Guzma something and try to stall it. Alright, so we get that. Problem is, I don't have a choice band. So we do 40, we do 120. Okay. Have we used both choice bands? Yes, we have. Alright. Oh my gosh, that was... Okay, no, we got Float Stone, we're safe. That was... Whoa. That was stupid. I'm going to put both pokes on this. Oh, but we can't retreat. But we can Gizmo. Gosh dang it. That was so stupid. I'm going to stick something in the active. They got 2 DCEs dumped. 2 grass on the field. I think I just live with my mistake. But do I end myself to 1 and end them to 3 to reduce their chances of things? I don't know what I'd be blocking, but I feel like that's smart, just to reduce whatever chance they have of anything. Maybe getting another basic to fill up their bench to do more damage with Zoroark, which they haven't done like anything with this whole game. They've been focusing more on the devolve approach, which is much slower. So as long as... Really, we just need 1 Decidueye to survive. Yeah, that's all we need. We don't want the Zoroark in the active either. We need our Gizmo, which we can trade for. Because we need to take down this now that we've committed some damage to it. It needs 1 poke, and then the attack for 120. But I think if he discards the energy to retreat and bring Zoroark in the active, he's only hitting 100 on 240 that can retreat, and Espeon loses its energy to attack. Alright, so what are you going to lay for? Guzma? That would really suck. Yep. Who are you going for? Oh man, we may have screwed ourselves. Does he take the 1 easy prize with Coco? Nope, Lele. That's smart, because then he can devolve. Oh, on Decidueye and just totally screw us. So if we don't get what we need this turn, and they do, which they will, they have it set up to win next turn if we don't do it properly. Okay. I mean, I guess he could still hit Decidueye next turn. Alright. Moment of truth. Hey, that's a Guzma for a Lele. Looky there. Or I'm sorry, a Rescue Stretcher for a Lele for a Guzma. Oh boy. Christmas came early. I can absolutely not believe that. That's what happens when you play with a consistent deck. It's weird. It's almost like they did it on purpose. Now, that was an amazing top deck. I'm not saying it happens every time, but... And he's just going to scoop it up. He knows what's coming. Whew. Okay. Well, this is a fun list for sure. I have no complaints. I'm getting to the point where I look at lists that take first and I say, I'm not going to tweak anything with them because there's a reason they got first. And the reason is it's an amazing list and they're an amazing player. And those two paired together go beautifully. So I'm going to show you guys this list one more time. Please do yourself a favor. Don't change it unless there's some crazy thing that shifts in the meta where you need to make a tweak. But for now, this list is solid. Connor definitely knew what he was doing when he took this list. And like I said, he's joining a host of other people who are taking DeciZoro Zoroark to League Cups and League Challenges and just absolutely dominating the competition. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to like the video, and as usual, subscribe to the channel. We love having you guys around. And until next time, I've been Jordan with the Deck Box, where we want to know what's in your box. Have a great night, guys.